Hey guys, looking for new RTS games to play in 2025? Then you've come to the right place. We're starting the list with Grit and Valor 1949, a roguelite real-time strategy game set in an alternate dieselpunk World War II. The game puts you in command of an elite squad of mechs, fighting against the Axis forces to liberate Europe. The year's 1949, and World War II continues to devastate Europe. The Axis forces, led by Germany, dominate the continent using powerful mechs to suppress resistance. The few survivors have united under the banner of the resistance, fighting against the tyranny of the Axis. The game features a variety of mechs and pilots, each with their own unique abilities and advantages. You can customize your mechs and pilots, adapting your tactics for each mission.
The Axis forces, your rewards will increase. We trust this overview will help when the time comes to free regions from the grip of the Axis powers. Should you fail, you can return to base to make necessary upgrades and redeploy. We will share more intel on how to build the ultimate mech squad in a future transmission. Over and out.
In Night is Coming, darkness is relentlessly devouring the lands, forcing survivors to hide in the forests, where each new day is a battle against death. You take on the role of leader of a group of survivors, building and developing your settlement, gathering resources, and protecting your people from the monsters that lurk in the darkness. Night is Coming is described as a unique blend of building and survival simulator with elements of real-time strategy and RPG. You must build and develop a settlement, managing resources like wood, food, and clothing to meet the needs of the colonists. There is a technology system that allows you to research new constructions, improve production methods such as agriculture and manufacturing, and increase the efficiency of structures. Anno 117 Pax Romana is the latest chapter in the acclaimed Anno strategy game franchise, developed by Ubisoft Mainz. Set in the heart of the Roman Empire in 117 AD, the game puts players in the role of an emperor with the responsibility of shaping the empire's destiny. You take on the role of a Roman governor, tasked with shaping the future of the empire in two distinct provinces: Latium, the heart of the Roman Empire in present-day Italy, and Albion, a region inspired by the Celtic lands of the north, such as Britain. This choice between provinces is a novelty in the series, allowing players to decide whether they want to spread Roman cultural influence or preserve Celtic traditions. While the main focus is on construction and not war, unlike other Roman strategy games, there are indications that conflicts will be present, with mentions of triremes, warships, protecting trade routes. Tempest Rising is a real-time strategy game being developed by Slipgate Ironworks and published by 3D Realms. It is considered a spiritual successor to classic strategy games from the 1990s, such as Command and Conquer. Tempest Rising takes place in an alternate universe in 1997, after the Cuban Missile Crisis escalated into nuclear World War III in 1962. Decades later, the world is devastated, and a mysterious and valuable plant called Tempest begins to sprout from irradiated areas. This plant, with electrical properties and unknown potential, becomes the center of a global conflict. The game offers two epic single-player campaigns with 11 missions each, totaling 22 missions, one for the GDF and another for the Tempest Dynasty. Each campaign allows you to customize your army between missions, with cutscenes that advance the narrative.
Though they may be, they are still flesh and bone.
Corsairs, Battle of the Caribbean is a strategy and adventure game being developed by Fishing Cactus and published by Microids. It is a modern reimagining of the classic 1999 game, Corsairs Conquest at Sea, which was a landmark among pirate-themed strategy games. The new title promises to combine tactical naval combat with management elements, offering an immersive experience in the world of privateers and pirates of the Caribbean. The game takes place in the turbulent waters of the Caribbean during the golden age of piracy. You take on the role of a privateer, a captain in the service of a specific nation, with the mission of gaining fame and wealth as you navigate dangerous seas, build a powerful fleet, and engage in epic battles against enemy ships. In addition to the campaign, there is a skirmish mode, which allows for quick battles against AI in single-player or online multiplayer with up to 4 players. Paths to Power is the first downloadable content for the space strategy game Sins of a Solar Empire 2. This DLC offers players a new mission-focused gameplay experience, with over 10 mission scenario maps that can be played in single-player mode. The main highlight of Paths to Power is the new mission scenario maps. These maps feature unique starting conditions and objectives that players must achieve to win. Each scenario presents specific challenges that test players' strategic skills, forcing them to think outside the box and adapt their tactics to overcome obstacles. The scenarios in Paths to Power are designed to offer players complex strategic challenges. Players must manage their resources, build their fleets, and research technologies carefully to overcome obstacles and achieve their goals. Immortal Pillars is the first expansion for the game Age of Mythology Retold, which allows players to explore Chinese mythology. The expansion introduces a new pantheon of gods, mythical units, and divine powers inspired by ancient legends. The expansion introduces a new pantheon of gods, including the goddess Nuwa, the god of war Chiyu, and Nuba, the goddess of drought. Players can also control the Yinglong dragon, which can control the skies. The expansion includes a new 9-mission campaign that takes players on a journey through Chinese mythology. Unlike Tale of the Dragon, which was criticized for its weak narrative and imbalance, Immortal Pillars was developed with a focus on quality, authenticity, and fun, according to the developers at Forgotten Empires.
I will drive you from this place!
Bow to your new emperor!
Crusader Knights Templars is a real-time strategy game that combines elements of city building and sandbox gameplay, allowing players to relive the era of the Crusades. Developed by Reverie World Studios, the game invites players to take on the role of leaders of a knightly order, expanding their power and protecting the future of Christendom. The game puts players in the heart of the Crusades, where they must build and manage their knightly orders, building fortifications, training troops, and managing resources. The goal is to ensure the safety and growth of Christendom, facing enemies and expanding their domain. Crusader Knights Templars offers an immersive experience with a focus on strategy, diplomacy, and combat. Players must make strategic decisions to manage their resources, build their cities, and lead their troops in battle. Prison Architect 2 is the highly anticipated sequel to the popular prison management simulation game. Developed by Double 11 and Koku and published by Paradox Interactive, the game promises to take the experience of building and managing prisons to a new level, with 3D graphics and enhanced mechanics. Unlike the first game, which used a top-down 2D perspective with a partial 3D mode, this sequel is fully 3D, allowing for multi-story constructions and offering greater creative freedom to players. The game retains the classic simulation style, where you design, build, and manage a prison, but introduces new tools and mechanics to make the experience more immersive and complex. The shift to 3D is the biggest novelty, allowing players to build more detailed and realistic prisons, with infrastructure spread across multiple levels. Task Force Admiral is a 3D naval war simulation game that puts you in command of American aircraft carriers during World War II in the Pacific. The game takes place in 1942, and you lead your fleet and aircraft directly from the center of the battle, both in first-person and God's-eye view. The game focuses on the single-player experience, allowing you to take on the role of an admiral and lead the legendary American aircraft carrier task forces of 1942. You are responsible for seeking the destruction of enemy naval forces and preventing the Imperial Japanese Navy from achieving its objectives. Task Force Admiral appears to be a promising game for fans of World War II naval war games. The game offers an immersive and realistic experience with meticulous attention to detail. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.